going on, everybody? Today we're going to be customizing these Adidas forums for the Arizona Coyotes. We're going to be basing it off their brand new jerseys designed by Rhuigi. He did an amazing job with this design. Now it's time to transfer this onto these sneakers. These are going to be displayed at a Coyotes Adidas event, so it only makes sense to go with these forums. I'm excited for this project, so let's get started.
What's up, bro?
Ready to do some designing?
Oh yeah, you know it.
Alright, dude, so we got this sick Coyotes new jersey. Love the colors, love the simplicity of it. Just gotta put this onto a shoe.
Okay, sounds simple enough.
When it comes to these brand new Arizona Coyotes jerseys, there isn't too much to play with. It's very on the minimal side. We have two colors, burgundy and cream. We also have a few logos to play with. We have the Arizona logo, the A, the cactus, and the kachina pattern. What I'm thinking is, for the tongue tags, we'll add the A and the cactus on the opposite. On the back of both shoes, we'll add the kachina pattern, and on the opposite side, we'll add the Arizona logo. First things first, we're gonna take out our laces and insoles and then start the deconstruction process. Using a seam ripper, we're gonna remove the tongue tags. Tongue tags are off, let's continue deconstructing. Using an X-Acto knife, we're gonna remove all the stitching around this area. Once we open it up, we're gonna remove all 3 stripes. I do plan on replacing these 3 stripes, but we'll take care of that later. To go. Six down, 6 to go. All 12 stripes are fully removed. Took a lot longer than I expected working with this little tight space, but they're all off. We'll come back to that later. The next step we gotta do is prep the entire leather, including the sock liner, because it's also leather. We are gonna paint this shoe, so in order for it to adhere to this material, we gotta prep it first. For this, we'll be using acetone and cotton balls. All done with the prep work on the Adidas. Next step is laser engraving new parts, but we're waiting on Eric for that. In the meantime, I'll show you guys a side project that I'm working on. Originally, I was gonna do this project off camera, but I might as well fill you guys in. As you guys know, these Adidas customs are based off the new jerseys designed by head creative of the Arizona Coyotes, Rhuigi, so it only makes sense to hook him up with some customs as well. He rocks Puma, he has a lot of collaborations in the works, so it only makes sense to get him some suede classics. I got 2 different pairs, I'm gonna be swapping some parts. I also started removing these panels. I'm gonna replace these panels with exotic material that we also gotta laser engrave, but first we gotta remove these panels and remove all the thread around the midsole. Got the majority of this Puma swoosh off, cut all the stitching. Now I have to go in and use a soldering tool to open up the sole. This panel is tucked underneath, so in order to get it out properly, I gotta open it up. For this, we're gonna put it at 350 degrees. While we have the soldering tool, we're gonna take care of the gold foiling on the Puma, suede, and the logo. Same thing with the back. For this step, we got some green and red hot foil from some previous projects. Basically what I'm gonna do using a soldering tool, I'm gonna replace the gold with these colors. For the Puma and the logo, same thing with the back, I'm gonna do red. For the suede part, I'm gonna do green. All done with that step. The gold didn't fully take on the red hot foil. Now it's an inconsistent red and gold. It's pretty cool, I don't mind it. Next step we're gonna do using a Foxtrot Uniform Sneaker Stainer Ivory. We're gonna go in and get rid of all the white on the midsole and the sock liner. We're gonna apply a nice thick even coat, let it sit for a few hours, and then we'll wipe off the excess. All done with the Pumas for now. Now it's time to do some laser engraving. Let's get to it. We're back onto the Adidas, all good with the laser engraving. We got these perfect strips. Before we go in and paint them, we'll take care of some taping first on the shoe. We're gonna tape off everything but a few sections like the toe box, these side panels, and a few other parts. Let's tape it up real quick. All taped up, let's lay down our cream paint. paint is laid down. We took off some of the tape. We're gonna do some more taping so we can lay down the cream on the tongue now. Cream paint is laid down, it's looking good. Now we're on to the stripes. Before we can paint them, we gotta do some prep work. First, we're gonna be using some alcohol prep pads to prep the surface. After that, we're gonna be doing some skiving and chopping off the top and bottom. Right now, they're a little long, but if I leave it as is and just sew it like that, there's gonna be a pretty big bump showing in the leather. That's why skiving is super important. For this, we'll be using an X-Acto knife and some prep pads. Cream paint is fully solid, it matches the soles nicely. Now we're back onto the strips. Before we do anything else, we gotta go to the post-op machine and add some simulated stitching. Good to go with the sewing. Before we can go in and place these in the shoes, we gotta do some prep work. Real quick, using the Dremel, we're gonna roughen up the areas where the strips are gonna go so when we glue them, it stays in place. Prep is complete once again. Now we're gonna be applying some glue onto the strips and to the shoes. We're gonna let it sit for a while, then we'll stick it together. Glue's been applied. We'll let it sit for about an hour or so. We're gonna heat it up so we can bond it all together. Got all the strips laid down. We still need to do some more taping and gluing. We gotta glue the top and bottom so we can get it fully closed so we can go sew it. Sewing is complete, it's looking good. Now we're on to some more taping. Tape job's complete, now let's cut out some stencils. For the stencils, we're gonna be cutting out 3 different parts: the Arizona that's on the jersey, the Kachina pattern, and some circles to cover up these eyelets. Let's do some measurements. Stencils are fully cut out. Before we go in and lay them all down, we're gonna lay down a cream base coat on this back area. We're gonna be using the same paint I use on the toe box and other areas of the shoe. Stencils are fully cut out, let's lay them down. Tape job's complete, same thing with the stencils. Now we're on to the paint. For this, we'll be using this custom maroon paint. For this, I use red, yellow, blue, and a little bit of purple. Tape is off, you guys. These look really good, but honestly, that was a lot of work to lay down this color. It was about 6 hours worth of work. The tape job took me about 3 hours. Laying down the paint took me another couple hours just because I wanted the perfect tone. There was a lot of overspray on these eyelets, this plastic piece down here, the sole, but after a couple hours worth of touch-ups, we got it to this point. We're almost done, but at this point, I'm really happy with how they're looking. We still have to go in and remove the Arizona stencil, and the stencil back here, let's do that now. We're all done with the shoes, but there's still a couple details we gotta take care of, starting with these green insoles. We're replacing the older ones because I like this green. It's gonna give it a nice pop on the inside, but first we gotta customize them. We got the Arizona logo and the cactus. Let's print them out first so we can heat press them. Insoles are complete. The final detail we got to take care of is the tongue tags. For a while I was trying to think of what to do for that part, but I got creative with it. These are the original Adidas tags. All I'm gonna do is flip it. The Adidas logo is gonna be in the back. For this, once again, we're gonna cut out some vinyl to heat press it on. Vinyl's been applied. Before we go to the post-up machine and sew it in place, we're gonna be using some double-sided tape to make it easier to sew. All done with the tongues, paint job is complete. The last step you gotta do is lace them up and add some chrome aglets. By the way, these aglets are a nice touch. I bought these from Angelus. I had to do a lot of work off camera in order to get these done in time. These are due in about an hour. We don't have much time. We still gotta go in and finish up the tongues, but real quick, I wanna show you what I've done off camera. For example, I already showed you guys that I aged the soles, but I also went in and added some green stitching all around the sole. We went in with the sewing along for that part. Easy stuff, I've shown you guys how to do that in the past. After that, I replaced the white sock liner with a nice rich maroon color. I also went in on both insoles and added the A and the cactus just like the Adidas. One thing I had to change about this project was the stingray material. Originally, I went in with the laser engraver to cut this out. It was really thick. It took several passovers to get it fully cut out. When it was time to use the post-up machine to add the stitching, my machine had a lot of problems. It kept on breaking the needle, kept on breaking the thread. So at that point, I had to scratch that idea. And I added this wave to the end of the tail to give it a different touch. This is something I haven't seen Puma do. This pattern piece helped me cut out the new suede panels that I added to the shoes. On the outside of both shoes, I added these tan suede panels, and on the inside, I added the purple. All those colors are old school Coyotes colors with a different tone. We still have to go in and finish up the tongues. For these, we got the maroon and the green. So what I'm thinking is stacking both of these together and sewing them together. It's a different look. I haven't done it before. We'll see how it goes. We're done with the post-up machine. We got both of these tongues locked in place. Before we could go in and attach these onto the shoes, we're gonna be applying some glue to the tongues and shoes to bond it first. But before we get into all that, we're gonna grab our brand new fat white laces. We got a cup of Joe right here. We're gonna age them by adding some coffee. Tongues are attached. Let's finish it up with some sewing. This custom is complete. The tongues are in place. We added these jumbo aged laces. This custom is wrapped up, you guys. These are sick. Double stacked tongues, aged shoe, wavy Puma swoosh, green stitching on the outsole. There's a lot of details to the shoe, but I'm happy they're done. I'm late. We gotta get these to the event. Let's go. After I dropped off the shoes, I did some shopping. I copped 2 sick hats from Rhuigi's new collection. They were really clean. After that, I got to chop it up with the owner of the Arizona Coyotes. Xavier was a really nice guy. He loved the customs. I also got to meet a lot of cool people all around the event. It was a great time. Overall, this was a great project doing 2 different customs for the Arizona Coyotes. I can't wait for the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's Vick Almighty. I'll catch you guys next Monday. See y'all.